What if the secret to mastering the markets wasn't about predicting the future, but about feeling its pulse, right now, in this very moment? What if trading wasn't a science of complex algorithms, but an art form, like a musician reading a sheet of music, or a dancer moving to a hidden rhythm? For over 40 years, one Wall Street legend has lived by this very philosophy, turning the chaotic noise of the markets into a beautiful, profitable symphony. Her name is Linda Bradford Raschke, and her approach to swing trading is less about complex indicators and more about mastering the market's internal rhythm. Linda Raschke isn't just another name whispered in trading forums. She's an icon, a living testament to longevity and consistency in a world famous for burning people out. Her journey didn't begin in a sleek, high-tech trading office with dozens of monitors. It started in the grit and noise of the trading pits at the Pacific Coast Stock Exchange. In that raw, visceral environment, surrounded by the shouts and hand signals of traders, she learned a fundamental truth that would shape her entire career. She would spend hours sketching charts by hand, not just to see the patterns, but to feel them. To internalize the market's pulse through the tip of her pencil. It was there, in the manual act of creation, that her core philosophy was born. Don't predict, just listen to the rhythm. To Linda, the goal was never to be the hero who calls the absolute top, or the genius who buys the exact bottom. That's a game for gamblers and fortune tellers. Instead, she mastered the art of catching the sweet, powerful middle of a move, the body of the swing, not its fragile, unpredictable edges. She understood that the real money, the consistent money, was made by flowing with the current, not by trying to command the tides. Linda Raschke sees the market not as a machine to be reverse engineered, but as a living entity that communicates through its own unique language. The patterns we see on charts, the head and shoulders, the flags, the triangles, aren't just geometric shapes. To her, they are the market's vocabulary, telling a vivid story about crowd psychology. Each candlestick, each price bar, is a footprint left by the collective emotions of millions of traders around the globe. It's a real-time narrative of fear, greed, hesitation, and euphoria. Linda learned to read this language fluently. She recalls a time during a roaring bull market when everyone was blinded by optimism, but she noticed something subtle, something most people missed. The market's heartbeat, as she might call it, was beginning to falter. The upward thrusts were losing their power. The momentum was fading, even as prices made marginal new highs. While others were piling in, she listened to the change in rhythm and shorted the S&P 500, positioning herself just before a sharp, unforgiving reversal. This wasn't luck, it was literacy. It was the ability to understand what the market was whispering, not just what it was shouting. This deep understanding also forged her ironclad discipline. Her most famous rule isn't about profit targets. It's about survival and emotional mastery. You don't have to be right often. Just stay in when you're right and cut fast when you're wrong. This isn't a discipline enforced by sheer willpower, a brute force struggle against temptation. It's a discipline born from a profound, almost painful understanding of how expensive a lack of it can be. She's felt the sting of holding a loser too long and knows its cost is not just financial, but mental and emotional. Her quick exits aren't a sign of fear. They are a sign of respect for the market's power, and a commitment to preserving her capital and her clarity for the next better opportunity. While her philosophy is deep, her practical application is elegantly simple. Linda's playbook, honed over decades of live trading, features 3 classic swing setups that every trader should know. These aren't secret formulas, but time-tested structures for identifying hyperprobability moments to join the market's rhythm. The first is the Holy Grail. This is a trend-following setup at its purest. In a market that is already in a strong, established trend which she often quantifies with an ADX indicator reading above 30, she doesn't chase the highs. Instead, she waits patiently for a natural pullback, a brief pause in the trend. She looks for the price to retreat to a key area of dynamic support, like the 20-period exponential moving average. When the price touches that level and then forms a distinct reversal candle, signaling that the buyers are stepping back in, she enters, buying the dip in the direction of the dominant force. Her second classic setup is called Gap and Go. Gaps in the chart represent a powerful overnight shift in market sentiment. They are moments of intense conviction. Linda observed that if a market gaps strongly in one direction and fails to close, or fill that gap within the first 3 trading days, it's a powerful signal. It tells her that the initial force behind the move is not a temporary fluke, but a genuine change in the market's underlying opinion. This failure to retrace is a sign of strength, and she expects the move to continue in the direction of the initial gap, providing a clear path to follow. Finally, there's Turtle Soup, her signature counter-trend setup. This pattern is designed to capitalize on the failure of others. When a price breaks a significant, well-established 20-day high or low, it often triggers a flood of breakout traders to jump in. But if that breakout immediately fails and the price snaps back inside the previous range, Linda sees an exhaustion signal. This false breakout traps the latecomers and signals that the trend's momentum has run out of steam, creating a powerful, high-probability reversal opportunity. Each of these setups is deceptively simple, but their power isn't in the pattern itself. Their success hinges entirely on trading them in rhythm with the market's underlying momentum, not as rigid mechanical signals. To truly understand Linda Raschke's method, you have to look beyond the charts and into her mindset. She treats her trading desk not like an engineer's workstation, but like a jazz musician's studio. It's a space for performance, intuition, and disciplined improvisation. This is why she famously doesn't automate her stop losses. For her, a stop loss isn't just a price level, it's a feeling. It's the moment she senses the music changing, when she can feel the momentum of her trade weakening. When a setup starts to fail, she doesn't wait for a predetermined price to hit. She exits immediately, preserving her capital and, more importantly, her mental energy. There are no revenge trades to win back a loss. There's no emotional attachment to a position she once believed in. The trade is either working with the rhythm, or it's not. If not, the performance is over, and it's time to leave the stage. To her, trading is a performance art, a delicate dance between disciplined analysis and honed intuition. You cannot force a good trade to appear any more than a musician can force a beautiful melody. You have to wait, listen, and play along when the rhythm presents itself. This artistic approach is supported by a rigorous mental practice. Before she even considers clicking the mouse, Linda mentally rehearses the entire trade, much like an Olympic athlete visualizing a perfect race. She sees the entry point, she visualizes the ideal exit, and most critically, she walks through everything that could possibly go wrong and how she will react. This rehearsal keeps her prepared and emotionally neutral. If she feels her heart rate spike or a knot of anxiety form in her stomach during this process, she steps away from the screen. "A clear mind is my edge," she has said. In her world, rest is not a sign of weakness or laziness. It is an active and essential part of her trading system. The periodic reset keeps her perception sharp, her intuition clear, and her decisions untainted by stress or fatigue. In the end, the soul of Linda Raschke's swing trading is a profound and simple truth. Every candle on the chart is a heartbeat of the crowd. It's a visual representation of fear and greed, hope and despair, all playing out in real time. Linda reads this price action like a master musician reads sheet music, identifying the crescendos of momentum and the quiet pauses of consolidation. She doesn't need to make 1,000 trades a year to be successful. Her goal is to capture just a few perfect, well-timed swings each month. Consequently, most of her time isn't spent actively trading. It is spent waiting, watching, and listening for her moment to join the flow. Her guiding mantra encapsulates it all: flow with the market, not against it. In her 4 decades of experience, she's discovered there is no magical holy grail indicator, no secret algorithm that unlocks infinite profits. There is only the rhythm of the market, the patience to wait for it, and the discipline to stop forcing trades that aren't there. Swing trading in Linda's world is not just a strategy you apply for a few hours a day. It is a way of being calm, deliberate, patient, and always in sync with the living, breathing pulse of the market.